It's weird with you sitting there. Okay. Just making sure it's working. It's working. You can go now if you like. Thank you for helping me. Hello. Okay. I don't need the light on. Um, Whenever you do this, you get nervous. I'll get over it. Okay. I want to do some sculpting today. Just let me know if you can hear me okay. Bah, bah, bah. Glove. Yay! You can hear me. Let me know if I need to speak louder. I've got music playing in my ear as well. Okay. This has been clay I conditioned yesterday because I planned to do this yesterday, but it took forever to set everything up because it's been so long. So I might need to condition it again. And for that, I have my machine over here, which I will turn off the mic if I do have to do it because it's very loud. And then should be able to see my sculpt okay. Hopefully the autofocus will kick in. We will see. And then I've got some measurements here that I want to follow. Swivel my chair this way so you can see me a bit better. Okay. Play with a little bit of this clay. Oh, you're painting, Kimberly. I'm always sculpting or doing something when I'm watching other people's lives. I'm gonna do like, I think it will end up about probably a little bit smaller than like average newborn size, which in my opinion is about 34, 35 centimeter head. And I'm gonna do a around 32, 33, we'll see. So maybe like an 18-inch baby. Ooh. I have a Spotify playlist that I'm on because I'm on my sister's Spotify, which is nice. Hear me sleeping. And I won't spoil much more, but I have a full plan. I sculpted a baby with this expression. That's not a spoiler, a while ago, and then but I did it in monster clay and then I overworked it, so I'm going to do it in polymer clay and hopefully I will have better results. We will see. It's a really nice day here today as well. And I've got the puppies in here with me, so if they bark, I apologize for that. They do bark a lot. Oh, cat fluff on my eye. Don't want cat fluff in my sculpt. Okay, well, I'm going to pop on the pasta machine. So I'm going to turn off my mic, which is this one, and I'll be back. Here we go. Okay. Now, usually I start with the face, but for this one, I'm going to start with the head. And I'm going to do the head shape first, and then I'm going to build the face on. Thank you. If you enjoy watching, try and keep it in view. Going to be a couple of layers of this clay on the outside. This would be way too thin if I were to leave it at just this. I think going too thick is definitely better than too thin. I rolled this yesterday as well. Hey Rosanna, how are you doing? fill out some of these seams just in case it like wants to cause a crack later. This is a little spatula tool. You're welcome. I love signing the babies. It's crazy that it's been a month already. Took me about a week to recover with the jet lag and the other stuff that happens to me, but I'm doing good now. If I go quiet, I'm just concentrating. Can't really do two things at once. I used to think I could, but I really can't. Thinking about it. I just saw a lot of videos from people at the Dallas doll show. That looked really nice. I was surprised how well, like, how good the lighting was, because it's one of those things you always look for when you're looking at doll shows. I imagine as a collector, it would be hard to buy a doll at a doll show if the lighting wasn't good. Just stretch this better not. Typically, when I do the foil, it doesn't really have much influence on the sculpt because of how much clay I put on top. Let's see with this one if I can keep it close to form. As long as I don't run out of clay, we're all good. Yeah, you have to go to a US doll show, Kimberly. You can come with me anytime. Anytime I'm going, you can come with me. I'm using a mix. I'm using a mix of, because I've thought so much. I'm like, how am I going to get through all of this? Because not all of it is workable unless you mix it. So this is a mix of Cernet and cosplay and some super sculpey as well. I like the finish it has. Working with it sometimes, not the best experience, but can get way too soft and gummy. So Annalise, Rebecca, how are you? I'm just warming up into talking, so I don't talk out loud to myself, usually. And it kind of feels that way. I know eventually it'll like feel more natural, but I'm gonna do I'm gonna sculpt most of the day as long as I have daylight. And then but I'm gonna have try and do 30-minute stretches and then do some exercise in between because I tend to sit all day without moving. My circulation's really bad. I'm trying to combat that with some movement in between, scheduled movement. It's gonna be a sleeping baby. A little bit smaller than the average newborn. It's an expression I have sculpted before on a baby you guys haven't seen. But I did it in Monster Clay and I overworked and I don't like it. But there were points when I was sculpting it where I really loved it. So I've got those photos and I'm going to use those photos as my inspiration. We're already getting a little uneven. That's okay. That'd be perfect. I'm just going to pop this through the machine again. So I'll meet you and I'll be back. There we go. If you have one of these, you know how obnoxiously loud they are. My nose is itching because I have a glove on. 1 second. You don't need to see me scratching my nose. There we go. I have my calipers here. Forgot my ruler. I will be back. Where is it? Hello, little dog. cupboard or is it in the other one? Could be in the other one. Going through my kitchen drawer. There it is. Let's see if I can't find my rule, I'm gonna have to use a measuring tape. Good amount of room still there to do. And then measure the widest point of the hedge. Got a bit of room there as well, which is good. I'm gonna put a little bit here. And then I'll do it on the other side as well. So you can see me. I do still have her. I actually haven't finished her probably since the last picture you've seen. She's still the same. Unfinished project, story of my life. One day we'll come back that, but for now it's the way we live. Check that again. Almost there. What's everyone up to today? It is 1 p.m. Yeah. Yeah, it is a bit of a process, isn't it? I like to see how other people make things. It helps me appreciate the amount of work that goes into handmade items. Because we don't all have the time to sculpt a baby or to paint a baby or mold and porosilicon, stuff like that. The width. That's exactly where I want it to stay. It won't, but we will try our best. Now I need more clay. I'm going to pop you on mute for another second. There we go. Doing anything there? Painting eyebrows. With doing drawing class, I think drawing eyebrows is much the same as painting them, like on a doll. So if you want to get yourself a sketchbook and just draw in the book, that's a good way to practice, I think. I felt that way when doing the hair. I'm like, this is exactly the same, except I don't have the muscle memory. So I plan to do it in a on a flat page before I do it on a head again. And once I get the strokes of hair down, I know I'll be fine doing it on a head. Um, Blank for a second. Let me measure how much I want to do at the back. Do a little bit more at the back, I think. Okay. Hey Jamie, what's it like being on the other side? Usually watching Jamie online. Where's Cheryl? Can you see it okay? I really liked the foil shape when I did it, so like I said, it doesn't usually help me at all. It's just part of the process. Oh, good. You found me when you were scrolling. That's a good sign. She's looking very chunky at the moment. I'm doing well. I've got the heater on at the moment because it's really cold. I'm like, it'll be good to have some heat so I can soften this clay quickly. Usually it's off and we just sit in the cold and we just put on warm clothes. It's too expensive. At least it doesn't snow down where I am. I'm glad my voice is relaxing. Might not be once I get more comfortable. Might get annoying. I've been going for 30 minutes already. I'm gonna crack the window. Ah, there we go. Some air in. I'll mix this clay back together. There we go. Sculpting, I definitely prefer sleeping babies. The eyes, they 9 times out of 10 will give me a headache. Because, yeah, eyes are a pain. But I do like sculpting open eyed as well. It's just, if I were to choose one, I'd do sleeping. Much less messing around with eyes because they're either too far forward or one's too high, or even though there's tricks for that. But as you sculpt, you also have to keep you have to keep it level, and mine tend to tilt, so then I end up having to pull out the eye and reposition it anyway. But at least with a sleeping baby, you can just like, if one eye's high, you just move it, move the clay. You don't have to take out the eye and guess, basically. That clay now. Probably could smooth it over a bit. I'm just smoothing out the seam where I added clay, because if I were to leave it, it might, when it bakes, it expands and contracts. It might create a crack later. I don't want that. Mm. I think probably, yeah, it's probably still eyes that are the hardest part of sculpting. Eyes and fingers. Toes are easy. They're like little short fingers, but fingers that there's a lot more work put into them. And also, if you have to fix anything, fixing it can be difficult. Yes, I can see comments over on YouTube too. When we first were setting up, we couldn't see any comments on what's going on because we on this program that I'm using, it has the option to stream in multiple places. And then we figured it out. There's a tab that shows both streams with the comments in one feed, which is really good. I don't find ears hard. I don't know why. I think actually, let me take that back. Doing one ear and then doing the other and making sure it's like in the right position, that's hard. And another hard part of sculpting is when you do one arm, the second arm has to look related, whereas the first arm kind of has a life of its own. Same with legs. First leg, much easier than the second. Second has to look like the first leg in some way. The best thing about ears is that they don't have to look the same. Um, like if you look at a real baby, their ears generally aren't the same at all. But if you want to get them closer, take a photo and then flip it in your phone, and then you've got like the view of your own ear to like compare off to work from. This baby, I'm aiming for it to be a little bit smaller than like an average newborn. So like around my twin size. They were small newborn size, like 5 to 6 pounds. I've got most of that blended. Just blend these ones together. Headphones are crushing my brains. Puppies are being good. They're down onto my table sleeping. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the video up if I can. Pretty sure I can. Used to be able to, so we'll see. I'm gonna let this one run to 60 minutes because we're at 42 now, and then I'll take a short break and then I'll come back. Exercise break. Oh, good, Esther. Is Asta good with other dogs, or is she more of an only dog, like her own space sort of dog? Oh, oh, that's awesome. It's crazy to think how old Grayson is now. The sculpt. My dogs um are like the complete opposite. In public, Fergus will be fairly friendly with other dogs. He's more like willing. Franklin does not like other dogs when he's out and about. He's just too anxious. But in the house, Franklin's the first one to be friends with a new dog. And then Fergus is the one who doesn't like other dogs in the house. There's my happy dog. Hey, that's enough. That's enough. Every noise he has to make it known that he heard it. He also thinks it's his responsibility to protect the house. Good boy. He's looking at me like, please don't kick me out. Which sculpt, if any, did you feel was your first breakthrough sculpt where you realized you'd made big leaps in your skill development? Um, Ellie Sue. Ellie Sue was sculpted. I don't remember exactly how many years before she came out as a kit. But if she had have come out as a kit when I sculpted her, it would have been a lot more groundbreaking than it would have been later when she did come out. But Ellie Sue definitely. Um, yeah, loved Ellie Sue. We had lots of issues with the production and the company we were using, and it was like wasn't happening for the first couple of years at all. It was a huge headache, especially with such an important sculpt. Right now I have two dogs and three cats. We did have six cats, but I lost them over the last couple of years, unfortunately. The last two that we got were complete impulse purchases that we 100% don't regret, but probably shouldn't have done. But I'm glad I have them now. They're best buds. Artie, he's the first one we got. I was looking for a rag doll because I loved how my sister's rag doll interacted with Fergus, who was a puppy at the time, and impulsively wanted to recreate that. So we went and saw Artie, and he was the last kitten this lady had available, and he just wanted nothing to do with me at all. His siblings were like climbing up my legs. They were so cute, and he just wanted nothing to do with me. And I'm like, you think about cats, and you like think about their personalities, and if you have a cat that's on you all the time, that might not be what you want all the time. So I was like, you know what? Let's take him home. We'll see how he goes. Not that he would have gone anywhere anyway. He was either going to be a to himself cat or he was going to be like his siblings. And anyway, on the way home, another listing that I had messaged a lady about, she got back to me. So we went and saw that kitten as well, and we ended up taking him home as well, which was the best decision in the end because they are best friends. Total opposites. Artie, he's a love bug. He wants to be on you. He wants you to cuddle him. He wants you to carry him around. And then Roger, he is very shy. We say he's autistic because if you ever meet him, he's a very different type of cat. He's also very loving, but when on his terms. And like I helped out some of my family and they brought their cats here and we had issues with Artie with them coming to the home, but Roger, not territorial at all, which for a male cat isn't the norm. Yeah. You just know. They're the best, but yeah. Roger does this thing where he rolls over and he does this bunny. We call it the bunny, where he like pulls his ears down and he like licks his head and he does this with his ears like a bunny. It's so cute. Uh, yeah, I still mainly use my pen, but I have been using other tools recently. I have these awesome ones. They are where's the best spot to show you? They're loop tools, and they're awesome for like just moving clay around. Whereas I normally use the back of my nails. And then I have like a triangle loop tool as well. They definitely make things a lot quicker. And then I have these like little tiny ball styluses, which I don't like as much because it's held together with the wood and you can't feel the clay when you're touching it. Whereas if you've got like the pin, you can feel the clay through the head. And even these, you can feel the clay. But these, because doggies, you're going to have to go out now. I'll be back. I'll mute you for a second so I can move them. Move the doggies to another room. Ah, now I've got to remember what I was doing. I think I was going to put this here. This baby is going to be smaller than a typical newborn. but we'll see. As long as I keep my measurements in check. Sometimes I can get too big. Almost at an hour. At an hour, I'm going to stop and just go and move around, get my blood flowing, and then I'll be back to do some more. Still got a bit more. I'm going to add some more to the front, and then depending. Okay, I'm going to mute you for half a second, a couple of minutes while I blend up some clay. Now you can hear me again. I'll do this last little bit and then I'm going to hop up. And then I'll be back in probably 20 minutes. This tool, this one, is a pasta machine with a motor. Game changing. Oh, this is a caliper tool for measuring. So measuring things that aren't flat. So I can measure the face. I can measure chin to the back of the head. I can measure the width like that. Caliper. I think it's a 12-inch caliper. They come in different sizes, but 12-inch. I haven't had to use anything other than a 12-inch. Stretching this piece over the forehead. And then make sure it's still the size that I want it to be. Yeah, that's good. It's just a little bit smaller than it will be in the end. Get all that on. Normally I'd use the back of my nail for blending like this, but it's harder with the gloves on. You can still do it with the glove on, but it's just much easier to use this spatula tool. This is the forehead. You can sort of see it. Forehead, back of the head, top of the head. My bigger baby. He's still gonna be a while. I'm still working on him, on his head. And he's a monster clay, so I have to mold him when I'm done. Can't send, I can't send monster clay in the mail. I'm too afraid it's gonna get destroyed by customs or someone. Putting a little bit of clay here because it's dipping in too much for my liking. And we're at an hour now, so I'll quickly move that down because it's easier when the clay's warm anyway. And then I'll be off, and then I'll be back in 20 minutes or so. Is that Cheryl? You made it just when I'm hopping off. I'm hopping off for 20 minutes and then I'll be back. 20 minutes. Because I gotta keep moving, otherwise bad things happen. I try to always wear gloves because polymer clay has plasticizers in it. And if you've ever done any research into plasticizers, you want to protect your health. Sometimes I won't wear them. Usually, like if I'm mostly done with a sculpt, I can put some foil on the back of it and then I can hold the foil and then I can just use whatever tool I'm using and then I don't have to wear gloves. But if I'm gonna touch it, I like to wear gloves. Also, like um, when I don't wear gloves, it builds up on my fingers and I hate how it feels as well. Yucky. Okay, baby's gonna stay here. Gloves are gonna come off, and then I'm gonna be back in 20 minutes. Okay, thanks for watching. Be back soon.